Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today there is something a little bit different on the Wholesale Help channel. I'm going to be chatting with Matt Webley and Karen Hudson. Say hello everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, crew. Hi, Wholesale Help crew.
Wholesale Help crew.
Wholesale Help crew in the place.
Alrighty, so on this, we're going to do a few videos out of this one meeting, I think, because what I want to do is have a bit of an overview on the software that you guys produce, because I know there's been a lot of updates, and Matt, you've been feeding me a few sneaky tidbits, and I know there's some very cool things coming, but I don't know the full story, so I want to know what's going on firstly, and I want to see how you guys are doing. And yeah, so what we'll probably do is chop it up into three different things. We've got three different subjects we want to talk about, so it doesn't go too long, and then so we'll go over the different software, but essentially as an overview, in my mind, these three pieces of software, if you sell on online arbitrage, I think they're 100% essential to making a decent, reliable profit from online arbitrage. Tools, in my opinion, are just the most important thing. After education, understanding how the process works, I think the right tools can make or break you. And I think this is why, you know, I recommend them, is because I think they're as good as you can get on the internet. So let's talk about BuyBot Pro in this part of the video, because I know there's some exciting things coming. There's already some exciting updates that's already happened. So over to you guys. Tell us let's give us an overview of BuyBot Pro, what it does, how it works, and what's coming up for the software.
Okay, so I'll do overview, and then Karen, you can tell them about the new feature that just went in recently, and then I'll show them the new bit, the new bit that nobody's got yet. Okay, so for anybody watching, thanks for the intro, Andy, and hi, Wholesale Help crew. If you don't know who we are, I know Andy's kind of introduced us, but we created BuyBot Pro, one of the software tools we use, which is the world's, in our opinion, the world's best online arbitrage analysis tool. So we forged the way for this market. There was tools before, like you could get what used to be the free Keeper Chrome extension that would give you the charts, and you could get like weird little tools that did basic calculations and stuff, but there was nothing that would analyze a deal from start to finish like the best deal analyzer ever. There was nothing that could do that before BuyBot Pro. So we kind of almost spawned this industry, if you like. We took what was bits and bobs, put them all together, added a load more stuff, and now it's like an analysis tool. So if you're doing online arbitrage and you're wondering whether to purchase a product or not, a stock, then you'll use BuyBot Pro. It sits in your browser, one-click analysis. It takes a few seconds, and it will basically tell you exactly how profitable it will be if you bought that product. It will tell you how many sales there is a month. It will tell you if you're eligible to sell it. It will give you the Keeper style charts, so you can see historic sales and volume. Tell you how many other sellers are on the listing, how much stock they've got. It will track your VAs if you've got VA sourcing for you. It does the monitoring of that, and so much more. But basically, it's one-click analysis. So the reason why we come up with this is that back in the day, I was looking to outsource my online arbitrage business because I didn't want to do anything in it. I wanted it 100% outsourced. So we were like, let's hire somebody to do the one bit that we can't get to do. So you can get VAs that will source stuff, or you can get software that will source stuff, but you couldn't get anyone to analyze it at the time. So the buying process was kind of slowed down by that. So we thought we'll hire this girl called Becky, right? And then after a while, we thought, it's all right for us being able to hire somebody to do this bit, but what about smaller sellers that can't afford to, or it doesn't make sense to, or they don't want to employ somebody or whatever? How do they outsource the analysis part of the business? So we thought, let's make some software that does it. So we were going to call BuyBot Pro BeckyBot, and it's going to get called BeckyBot. The idea was have a Becky, but for everybody, but you don't have to feed them, you don't have to clothe them, you don't have to pay them. It's just a piece of software instead of a human being. Mm-hmm. So that's what led to this new analysis industry, which BuyBot Pro is the leader in, and it just basically does what Becky did, which is analyze deals. But since then, it's come a long way. So that was the early days. Now you've got things like the manual sourcing accelerator built into it, which is basically it's a way to analyze deals manually, but on steroids. Instead of like doing copying and pasting and all this stuff, you just hit analyze in BuyBot Pro, and you can be on any website, and it analyzes it with the expertise of the best deal analyzer on earth. So one of the problems you've got when you analyze a deal is sometimes you might get a little bit gambly. I know I used to be all like, well, I shouldn't buy this deal, but I've not bought one in a while, so I'm going to buy it anyway. And then you end up hitting a bad buy. So it puts discipline back into it, but also you can miss things. So like you might be sourcing something and you've got tired eyes. Maybe you've been sourcing a few hours, you're fed up, you're ready for bed, but you're still at it, and you go, oh yeah, this is a good deal. Well, BuyBot Pro can go, no, it's not a good deal. You know, it can alert you to things that maybe you would miss. So it's just like having an experienced pair of hands or set of eyes looking over every deal, but super quick. So like thousands of data points analyzed in one click. So it saves you time, it prevents bad buys, and it actually helps you make more money. And if you're trying to do OA or online arbitrage these days without a tool like BuyBot Pro, and BuyBot Pro is the number one, it's the best. If you're trying to do that without BuyBot Pro, then you're at a disadvantage to other sellers that do have it. Let me give you an example. Let's say some Q4 sales come. I know we're going into the depths of Q4, but some sales come on. And let's say at 4 a.m., that sale goes live on the website. You and a whole bunch of other OAs are waiting, refreshing that page. And the moment you see it, it's a race because the best deals get sold out quick. So let's imagine you're trying to search manually for deals and you're doing the analysis manually. You might take 10 minutes to do it the traditional way and still make mistakes. Well, somebody with BuyBot Pro is going to do it in like 4 or 5 seconds each deal. So click full analysis. No, not for me. Next. Click full analysis. Next. And so if you're taking 5 or 10 minutes to analyze a deal manually, you're at a massive disadvantage because that stock starts to go out of stock. So as it comes into the sale, it's going out of stock and the best deals are disappearing to people like the sellers that have got BuyBot Pro, whereby they can just hit a button, bosh. So whole raft of features have gone in. Honestly, it's too much. Without making this like an hour-long chat about BuyBot Pro, there's so much stuff that's gone in there. But do you want to tell us one of the more recent features that's just gone in, Karen? Because it's just gone in this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's brilliant because if you're selling in Europe as well as in the UK, so you're selling EFN across Europe, you don't know what your break even is in those marketplaces because break evens tends to be done on the default marketplace. So you might know that your break even, the place where you don't make any profit or any loss, is like £20 or $20 on a certain ASIN. You don't know where that is once you've added in all your EFN fees and taken into account selling in Europe. So BuyBot Pro now works out your break even, not only for the UK, but for every marketplace that you sell in across Europe as well. So straight away, you can see exactly what your break even is. And it's called one of the features that we've been talking about. It's called the multi-market analyzer. So in there, it will tell you the country, the BSR, it goes through the profit that you'd make in each of those countries once it's taking into account EFN fees. It tells you the ROI you'd make, and now it tells you as well, obviously it tells you the price in that marketplace, and it tells you the break even as well. So it's super simple to look at the price that it's selling for, look at your break even, and know straight away whether you want to sell in that marketplace, like literally in a split second. It's brilliant.
That's just with one click as well, but that's just one feature. The multi-market analyzer, which we understand in January might not be much use to anyone other than, say, pan-Euro sellers or something. But it's just one click for everything. The only time you have to click again is like another feature in BuyBot Pro is the export deal. So anyone that's been doing OA a number of years will know that the old way of doing it was, if you decided you've analyzed a bunch of deals and you've decided to buy a deal, you've got to copy the ASIN, put it in a spreadsheet. Yeah, copy the store that you bought from, put it in the spreadsheet. Copy this, copy that. And again, it just really slowed you down. So you'd almost, I know I used to think, I'll not source that because there's only a few quid profit. I'll just leave that because I can't be bothered to do the copying and pasting. Well, BuyBot Pro, it's got an export to your buy sheet feature. So you just go click and it exports it all in one go. So again, cool. Tiny feature, but game changing for the time it will save you. And again, 99.9% sure that we were the inventor of that. Because I think I actually came up with that idea, didn't I?
Yeah, Karen? We were. Yeah, 100%.
And I know a lot of people have copied it since, which is cool. We get everything that we do gets copied. But I would argue that, look, we're innovating and we're always trying to innovate. So the sales heat map was an innovation. The export to buy sheet was an innovation. Time and time again, we're always pushing the boundaries. We've had a full-time development team on BuyBot Pro right from the start. So it's never stopped growing into something else. So it's never we've never had a period where we've not got developers working on making the software better. So anybody that would have remembered us from beta, what is it, 2.5, 3 years ago, Karen?
Yeah, 2.5 years ago.
If you see how far it's come since then, that's because we don't use it as a little cash cow and think, well, we're done there. We reinvest. So we're always developing. So monthly or bi-monthly, you'll notice either minor or major features going in. And one of the biggest features I want to talk about, if you guys want to add anything, please do. But otherwise, I'll show you this amazing new feature that's coming.
No, let's do it. I'm excited. Let's do it now.
You're not that far.
I don't want to wait.
Okay, so I mentioned that BuyBot Pro is the tool for online arbitrage analysis. I know in America they use like RevSeller, but honestly, I'm not bashing RevSeller. I get it. But at the same time, once you've used BuyBot Pro, you'll be like, why didn't I switch sooner? And we've got a lot of American users and they love BuyBot Pro. Yeah. Like they loved it's loved in the US, but it's not as widespreadly known about. But as soon as people use it, they fall in love with BuyBot Pro. The simplicity of use, the power, and it's not overcomplicated. You don't need a degree to use it. It's dead easy. You put your buy price in, you hit enter, and it analyzes it better than most human beings can. So anyway, so it is the analysis tool for online arbitrage. Like, it's amazing. But here's the thing. Now, coming very soon, it's going to be the analysis tool for retail arbitrage too. So I'm not going to show you all of the features today. We'll have to come on and do another one with Andy. Yeah. But you'll only be able to get this if you're a BuyBot Pro customer. But check this out. It's a BuyBot Pro mobile app. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
But BuyBot Pro on your phone. So all of the functionality, near enough, things we can't put in there physically because we can't, for whatever reason, won't go in it, but near enough, the vast majority of the functionality is built right there into your phone. So, and it will be included for free with your BuyBot Pro subscription. So if you become a BuyBot Pro user using the links down below, Andy's links below in the description, I assume there'll be, Andy, will they?
Yep, they'll be down below.
He'll link it up. You use those links. Any discounts you can get, they'll be down there too. There's no discounts for BuyBot Pro, but use his links. And what will happen is you'll get grandfathered in. Even if we put the price up in the future, because we're adding, it's gone on to the side, because we're adding things like this, a major feature, you'll never pay any more. So use his link, get locked in, get grandfathered in. And when this bad boy comes out, depending on whatever we do with it, you'll get it included for free. So you'll have the power of BuyBot Pro and all the analysis in your pocket wherever you go, which is a game changer. And now we've got some features that are built into BuyBot Pro Mobile that no other app on earth has got. They're unique to BuyBot Pro Mobile. And when you see this, trust me, guys, you're going to absolutely love it. So don't miss it out. This is going live soon, real soon. Like I say, it's there. It's there in the flesh. We're just jumping a few through hoops with Google Play Store and things like that, and then it'll be with you. But like I say, amazing. You can check. I won't go through all the features, but you can check like charts on the go. So you'll be able to see charts of sales. I don't want to tell you the best features because they're amazing. But just one click, I don't know if it's available in that marketplace, but there, I just clicked that look, and now it's doing the analysis of this product in the US. I don't think it is available in the US because it's Bulldog. I think it's a UK product, but there's a whole bunch of power in that we'll have to go into another time.
Yeah,
sales, IP alerts, profit, loss, historicals, charts, all kinds of stuff. So that is going live super, super, super soon. So the whole power of BuyBot Pro in your pocket anytime for the same price. Won't cost you any more. No buying new extra app.
That's crazy. That's what I was about to say. There are pieces of software that they are a mobile app for sourcing like that. You'll pay $50 a month for and stuff like that, and you're included in it already. How much is the BuyBot Pro subscription at the moment?
BuyBot Pro subscription in the UK is $24.95, including VAT.
So that's $24.95, and then if you subscribe down below using that link in the description, you're going to get that when it comes out. You're going to get that app included just for that price.
Yep, and you can upgrade your subscription to one that includes suspension safeguard, which means that you get professional suspension help should you get suspended if you've got that extra bit in your BuyBot Pro subscription, because you can spend hundreds or even thousands of pounds trying to fight an Amazon suspension, and we help you manage that suspension. You get professional help to help you manage your suspension if you have that upgrade in BuyBot Pro, and that's amazing. It's only £10 extra a month, which is just like gobsmackingly amazing value for money. For sure.
It's the fear of every seller in it. It's the fear of every seller. You've got the sword. I don't know if the right term's the sword of Damocles, but you've got that thing hanging over you in that you're building this business. And at first it's like, you know, the risks and you ask the questions, but you're okay with it. And then the more money you make on Amazon, the scarier it gets. And the longer you've been doing it and the more you rely on that income, the scarier it gets to think that with one click of somebody at Amazon, they can just wipe you out. And you know that Amazon's focus is the customer. You know, they put the customer first and the sellers second or third or fourth or whatever. So ultimately, you've always got that risk or that fear of being deactivated. With suspension safeguard, you basically get Karen and the team's expertise to help you through anything if the worst would happen. And there'll be no more to pay. So it's not paying $1,000 for some Amazon specialist to try and help you out if the worst happens. It's a very small monthly fee to know that if it does happen, you've got that help straight away. Because one of the worst things, and you'll know this better than me, Karen, one of the worst things you can do when you get suspended is start emailing Amazon. Is it still like that?
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. If you get suspended on Amazon, do not start emailing them, asking them for clarification or what you've done or anything like that. Just don't do that. That's the worst thing to do, because Amazon will only speak to you so many times about your suspension. And I've seen people, you know, lose their accounts because they kept asking Amazon. They kept telling Amazon they didn't understand and asking what they needed to do. And that lost them their account. And, you know, that's just so desperately sad. Yeah. So, you know, if you lose your account because you've done something unforgivable, fair enough. But to lose your account because you don't understand a process is just really tough. Yeah, definitely don't be emailing Amazon loads if you get suspended. No, don't do that. So
it's a little bit of a bump in price if you want suspension safeguard. It's optional, you don't have to, but it provides that sleep easy at night knowing that if the poop hits the fan. I mean for what is it, £10 extra a month?
£10 extra a month, yeah.
£10 extra a month. But if you think about that, that's £120 a year. But if you get suspended, it could cost you $1,000 or $3,000. We've seen some experts charging thousands of pounds to get unsuspended. Well, this is £10 a month, so it spreads the cost. And then when the poop hits the fan, it's like being able to ring the AA or do you know what I mean? You're like, you don't expect
things, but that's a new one.
You don't expect to break down, but if it breaks down, it's a bit more serious than your car breaking down. Because if your car breaks down, you're probably it's not gonna be the end. But if you get suspended permanently, then it's the end of your business, which sucks. So just knowing you've got somebody to reach out to with suspension safeguard that does it day in, day out is just a real nice little extra. But again, totally optional. At the end of the day, BuyBot Pro is there to help you analyze a deal, save time, save money, make more money. And it's just a really, I consider it to be the essential tools. And now it's got the manual sourcing accelerator in there. You don't need anything else to be able to do OA. You can source and you can analyze basically in the best ways possible using BuyBot Pro, and soon to be in your blooming pocket, which is amazing. We mentioned, sorry, Andy, we mentioned pounds for UK, but it's available in the US. Do you know what the price in the US, Karen? She's going to look.
I think it's $34.95.
Yeah, $34.95. But yeah, so what's that? Like just over $1 a day?
That's crazy.
Nothing.
It's so
if you're running a professional Amazon business, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's a small cost out of your monthly profits, ultimately, isn't it? It's not. I don't even look at these things as costs, because they're just part of the things that you invest in to do your business. And the same with suspension safeguard. It's £10 for a bit. How much are you going to earn in profit? Even a hobbyist is going to be earning £400, £500, £600 a month, who's doing it just for a holiday and a new car every year. You know, that they can afford that, let alone if someone's actually making a serious full-time income as a bit of a safeguard, and have someone that has been through this time and time again and knows the procedure and knows what you must do and what you must not do. You know, that's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. Even if you never use it, I'd be really happy, because that means you're still in business, you're still making profit every year. So yeah,
most people aren't going to get suspended. As scary as it is, the truth is most people will never get suspended. But that doesn't help if you're the one that does. Do you know what I mean? That's always the fear. But yeah, don't be too scared. At the end of the day, selling on Amazon's an amazing opportunity. It's really easy to get into. It's really good business to scale. You can do what Andy does, which is stock up FBA and then disappear on an holiday and come back a month later, and you've made a bunch of sales, made a bunch of money. So for freedom, time freedom, location freedom, and potentially financial freedom, there's few better opportunities, especially for beginners that have never sold online before. But BuyBot Pro basically helps you do that. And it's like, for us, it's the ultimate tool, and it's the one essential tool. So you don't have to get deal sourcing services. You don't have to get deal sourcing software. You don't have to get a prep center. You don't have to do all those things. But the one thing you do have to do is make sure that you can find and analyze good stock, so that you know you're not going to end up burning cash buying the wrong stuff and end up with boxes in your garage that you can't sell that are worth very little to you. And BuyBot Pro does that. So for us, we think it's a no-brainer. For the price it is, it's an essential tool if you're going to do OA. And coming back to what you were saying, Andy, the investment. You imagine the investment if you wanted to open a Subway franchise, for example. You're looking at hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars. If you wanted to open a McDonald's franchise, you're looking at $1 million plus. Like, so the thought, or if you're opening a shop on the high street, you're looking at 10, 20, 30,000 a year in rent for a very small shop, then rates, then insurance, then lighting, then this, then that, before you've even bought any stock to even sell. Well, this takes the guesswork out of OA for you. It means you don't make massive mistakes, and it's like, what, less than 30 quid a month. For us, it's an absolute no-brainer. And like I say, with the RA app, now when you go shopping, you'll probably end up making money instead of spending it. Do you know what I mean? You'll be in the shops, you'll scan this clearance aisle and scan a few special offers and go, oh, I just made 100 quid. Yeah. So all of a sudden, and I know in these times it's a bit weird to be going out there, but everyone's still got to do the shopping. You've still got to pop to the supermarkets if you don't buy online. And when you do, it's going to be included for free. Just do a bit of scanning. Bosh, make some dollar.
I do that all the time, Matt. I'm not doing much sort of retail arbitrage myself personally, but I can't help it. I can't go to the supermarket with my wife. She kills me when I do this, because I can't walk past a clearance aisle and not have a quick look. I can't. It's not in me to not do it. And I'll walk past and I'll just look at something and go, that seems a bit cheap. And then I'll whip out my phone and use usually the the Amazon app that's the default thing, which is clunky, slow, and doesn't give you all the information. But you know, I'll look at something and think, oh, I've got to get it, it's really good, and then I'll end up filling the shopping basket before we've even started with 50 BT phones or something like that, you know. Yeah. Or something stupid like that, and my wife's rolling her eyes thinking, how are we going to fit all the shopping in there now, because you just filled the trolley up with this stuff. But I can't help it. And to have that app where you can actually do that just on the off chances you're walking past, plus you can get all of the data to make sure that you can sell it, and you can see the latest sales and all of those analytics at the same time, is just, that's a no-brainer. It's worth it. It's worth more than that on its own. Plus, you get the desktop and everything else like that. So, to me, I've just written down a few notes when you were talking, Matt. And the massive time saver, I think, is a big deal, because obviously time is money when you're working. If you can work efficiently and do something a lot quicker, it means you can do more analyzing, you can find more items and make more money ultimately. And the AI analyzer, I've got to be real with you. When you told me, when this came out a few years ago, you said you're going to have this artificial intelligence that will be able to analyze it like someone, like a professional looking over your shoulder. I'm like, all right, Matt. You know, I think I doubt it, but I'll give it a go. And I gave it a go, and I just could not believe how accurate. Well, I tested it. I really wanted to see if I could catch it out. And you can't catch this thing out every single time. And there has been several times where I've been doing something and it's pulled something up and go, I didn't actually see that. And I feel like I've got some decent experience and I know what I'm doing, probably more than average, and I can find a bit of an angle and a bit more profit than most people through analyzing the data that little bit deeper and speculating a little bit further. But it can still pull me back, that human error aspect, whilst you're doing it. As you say, you do it over a period of hours, and you get a bit tired, and suddenly you'll do something and you'll think, yeah, that's a winner, and something will just say, I don't think it is actually. So I didn't actually see that. So if that on its own will stop you from making a few bad purchases, it's paid for itself throughout the whole year, you know, saving you just one or two times, let alone the few times it'll actually help you find stuff as well. So yeah, I think you're right when you say that it's a staple. You need it if you're doing OA or RA now as well. So
definitely. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, adding to that, Andy, like, I know it's got a cute exterior and it looks simple. We designed it that way, but some people mistakenly think the simplicity of the user experience means that it's only for beginners. It's really not for beginners. And let me give you an example of something that very few people know it does. But this is when we talk about it analyzes a deal better than most humans can. Maybe not Andy, because he's been in the game for a long time, but most OAers don't analyze it in this depth. For example, what it will do is it will go back a year of the sales charts and then go forwards a little bit. So imagine going back 365 days, but then looking at the next 3 months, right? And then using that data from last year to make some kind of AI type stuff go on for what's likely to happen in the next 3 months. Well, humans don't tend to do that unless they're really going in depth on the charts. But BuyBot Pro does it with one click. And I don't mean one extra click. It's the same click when you hit that analyze button. That's just one of the many things it does automatically. But yeah, like Andy says, it literally, in human language, will tell you slow seller or Amazon's on the listing. It will literally, it takes the guesswork out of the deal sourcing and literally tells you in plain English the main features of that deal, why to avoid it or why to buy it.
Yeah, really good. It is. And I must admit, I thought, well, it's not gonna be able to replicate what I can do over many years experience, but it just does. I'm kind of salty about it, to be honest with you, because my leverage, my sort of extra thing that I can do based on other people is getting less and less now, because that's what I was using, the extra bit of experience looking ahead, speculating what it's going to do in the next 3 to 6 months. That thing's doing it for you now. So I imagine people will be popping up and in competition with me, whereas I'm usually on my own on first page 3 months later when everyone's moved off down the road competing with each other on something else. There's me sat there quietly on my own taking all the money off all retail, but now there's going to be other people with us like, oh, they're using BuyBot Pro. It's going to happen. But I tell you, full credit to you, it's an excellent piece of software. So congrats. But I think we better be mindful of the time because we've got to get a lot to get through. But this is crazy. I'm going to put a link down below where you can get this. If you're just starting out, if you're new to this, you've not heard of this before, I've got to say you've got to get this. It's really, really good. Try it out for yourself and you'll see for yourself just how good this is. It's very simple to use and it will certainly pay for itself within a short period of time. So thanks guys for talking to us about this one. That's all for now, and we'll move on to one of your other stonking piece of softwares on the next video. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you on the next one very soon. Bye for now.
Guys, cheers Andy. Bye.